Hey guys, so today's video is on contribution points. So, to start off with, what are contribution points? Well, if you look at the top left of your UI, right next to your level, you will see three different bars. The first is your skill points, the second is your energy, and the third are your contribution points. So, contribution points are probably the most important of the three when it comes to earning silver in Black Desert. Energy is good for gathering. Skill points are definitely needed to learn new skills and grind and do PvP. But contribution points are what you use to manage your worker empire. Whenever you invest in a house, invest in a node, or purchase, for example, a refinery in a major city, renting it from the owner, you need to use contribution points for this. And that means contribution points are the limiter on how many workers you can have currently active in your empire. If you want to have hundreds of active workers, you need hundreds of contribution points. So there are two main ways to earn contribution experience, which is what lets you earn contribution points. The first is questing. Whenever you do a quest, you will usually earn contribution experience on top of regular experience for completing the quest. However, questing both takes a while and can be a little unreliable, and it'll force you to just complete dailies, mostly in Calpheon, once you run out of your normal quests. However, what this does mean is that as the contribution point experience reward is not unique to doing the quest the first time, every time you make an alternate character, you can re-earn all the contribution points that you earned the first time around doing the Black Spirit quests. Usually I earn between about 10 to 20 every time I take an alt through all the quests. It depends on how many I skip and how many side quests I pick up. So whenever you make an alt, doing those quests is a good idea because it will let you grind more contribution points fairly easily. The other way is the easiest way, and that is through cooking. Whenever you cook, you earn cooking byproducts. There are 5 different ones. I've only got one in my inventory right now. And these can be exchanged for milk, beer, silver, cooking experience, and finally contribution points. Now if you don't know where to turn them in, that's fine. If you just right click on any of them and press NPC location, it'll auto path you to the nearest NPC that you can turn these into. Just press T, it'll take you right to them. Let's just turn that off. So cooking is pretty easy. You just rent a house using, hey, guess what? Contribution points. So this is my residence. You can see I've got it as a residence. Go into your house and put down a bunch of cooking utensils. And you probably want more than just normal cooking utensils. You probably want advanced, intermediate, and Balanos and Calpheon cooking utensils so that you can make whatever it is you want to cook. Now the best things to cook for contribution points are beer and essence of liquor. And I have a ton of these here. And both of these are very simple to make. Beer especially is good to make because you use beer to feed the workers, and there's no point in having a worker empire if you can't feed them and keep them working. You've got to keep the population happy if you want to keep them working, and to keep them happy you just have to keep them fed. It is always true, the old saying, the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. Same as in Black Desert. Use beer, keep your workers fed, keep your empire producing for you. So both of these have fairly simple recipes. For beer, it's just 5 potatoes, wheat, corn, five of any grain, along with 6 mineral water, 2 leaving agents, and a single sugar, or a single sugar and 2 leaving agents. And for essence of liquor, it's 1 fruit, 1 leaving agent, and 1 grain flour. I use strawberries, and you can buy those in Calpheon fairly easily. So the beer recipe is 1 sugar, 2 leaving agents, 5 grain, and 6 mineral water. And all of those, except for the grain themselves, are purchasable in any major city. Just go to NPC. Go to NPC in any major tavern. So you just press cooking, and it'll take you to the nearest one. So grinding contribution points, it takes a while. Even if you cook for an entire night, you're probably not going to get more than about 120 of each byproduct. If you use Calpheon utensils, which let you cook 2,500 items. So you're not exactly going to be getting tons and tons of of contribution points every night, as I believe it takes 120 just to get a single contribution point. I'd have to double check the numbers. And also to note is that there are a few soft caps on contribution points. The first one is at 250, which is when it suddenly starts to become a lot more difficult. Second one is around 320, and the final one is 400. Once you get to 400, it becomes not impossible, but very difficult to get any more contribution points. So getting 250 contribution points is a very good first goal. I stopped at 248 because I got lazy, but as a first goal, getting 250 contribution points is probably the best idea. It lets you have a fairly decent sized worker empire. So here's the mineral water, the Allevian agents, and the sugar. It lets you have a fairly decent worker empire. If you look at my worker empire here, you can see that mine's pretty big already, and I've only got 248 contribution points. If I expand and go up to 300, 350, I could probably add a lot more here. I could go into Kama Sylvia, and I could add parts of the desert to my worker empire. So earning contribution points is important in order to build your worker empire, which is important for both making money and other life skilling purposes. If you want to do a lot of the different life skills in the game, apart from grinding, you will want to have your worker empire set up so that you can earn, not only earn money, but earn the resources you need to create the items. A lot of the workshops will require certain items that you can only get from certain nodes. And yes, you can buy them from other players, but a lot of these items, for the ones that are worthwhile to make in the workshops, will not be really sold on the marketplace too much because other players buy them or keep them to themselves so that they can make them themselves. Anyways, guys, that's the video on contribution points. Hope you liked it. Subscribe if you did, and have a good one.